Welcome back to Investing with Confidence. As always, I am your host with the most, Joshua David. If you're just tuning in, you missed Al getting into these income potential strategies and techniques. If people are looking for extra income, they need a strategy for short-term movements. Because the stock market right now, buy and hold might not be the right time to do that. There's opportunities in the markets with the stocks, but right now might not be that time at that high. If you happen to miss 2 tickets for the investing class, call 952-814-4410. You can also text the word invest to the number 484848. You'll receive a text back right away with a link to register for the class. You're also going to get the quick start kit when you attend. So, Al, you want to get into the retirement topic again, and this is always, we talk about this every week, and it's, matter of fact, we had some people coming in today, and the main reason they were here is they wanted to protect and secure their retirement so they have enough, and they wanted to leave a legacy. But they're facing some challenges in those retirement accounts, and they want to understand, okay, how can I eliminate those challenges and have the potential to retire with enough? What are some of those challenges that you're seeing a lot of people face, but how do we eliminate those challenges and get there?
Yeah, I think one of the challenges, Josh, is that people don't know what's in their retirement accounts. They pretty much have been conditioned to believe that here's this great thing called the 401k or 403b. As long as you just contribute some money to that as much as you can, you're going to be fine when you retire. Well, there is a retirement crisis, and the go-to retirement program for most of the people out there is a 401k. So it stands to reason that if we have a crisis and people are using the 401ks, that they have not done what they're supposed to do. They basically have failed people. And remember, they were never intended to be the primary retirement program. People used to get pensions. Some people may still have pensions. A lot of them are underfunded. Yep. People relied on Social Security. There's some questions about what the future of Social Security will look like. You don't have any control over that. You don't have any control over a pension if you have one, but most of you don't have one. But you do have control over your retirement savings. So number one, know what you have. Know where your money is. And the ironic thing is that a lot of people that have this great, so-called great retirement program through their employer have no idea what their money is in or why it is in a certain particular asset. Most of them are mutual funds or exchange-traded funds with some of the newer programs. But for most of you, you're in mutual funds, and you really don't understand what the drawdowns can be with those assets. When mutual funds were first introduced, it was really a great way for people to be diversified in a market, but they have gotten so large and the fees have gotten so high. The fact that they're so large results in the returns being more mediocre, but the fees also have a big impact there. And also, there are some limitations. You mentioned, Josh, that a lot of people coming in now are really concerned about protecting their assets, and they have no idea how to do that. Mm-hmm. They're concerned because, this market has been on a tear for years. It's very highly valued, overvalued now, probably more overvalued than any time in history. So what is the logical next step for the market to do? It's going to correct. It will correct. It will get back to a more normal valuation. It always has. It's just a normal part of the financial markets. So in 2008, and a lot of the people that are coming in now are just getting back to a point where they have recouped some of what they lost in 2008 when the S&P was down 57%.
Yeah.
What if that happens again? Well, here's an example. Back in 2000, if you were young enough or old enough in 2000 to have a financial retirement plan put together, you lost 50% of your assets that year. Then it took almost another from 2003 to 2007 to recoup that. Just when you're starting to feel comfortable, boom, it hits you again. You're down 57%. It would have taken you 14 or 15 years to get back to where you started in the year 2000. For a lot of people, especially as you get close to retirement, you can't do that. One of the things that we talk about, and we talk about it a lot, is how to protect the assets that you have. And think about this. If you have a financial advisor, how many times have they sat down and either said, hey, let's put a protection program together for you. Let's make sure that when the market is crashing, that there's not damage done to your portfolio. And most of the responses you would get if you asked how you're protected would be, well, you're diversified, you're spread out. The problem with that is that you are diversified within the same asset group.
Yep.
If it's stock, if it's mutual funds or stock, when the market does go through what we call a bear market, a 20% or greater drawdown, about 90% of the stocks will go down, whether it's justified or not.
Yeah, and the good thing too is, and don't be discouraged right now. These are the facts, what's happening. But the great thing is there's self-directing opportunities out there. If you want to understand more, say you want to sleep better at night, knowing you're protected, you got to come into one of these investing classes that Al teaches to see how that's done. So if you want to text the word invest to the number 484848, you're going to receive a link back for 2 tickets for the class. So register with that link and pick a date. When you come in, you're also going to receive the retirement planner. So make sure to register with that link. Now, Alice, people want to learn more about those self-directing opportunities,
Sure.
but they also want to discover those techniques the professionals use with their retirement accounts. So let's just say somebody wants to self-direct, and there are techniques that you talk about in these investing classes, but just give a little sneak peek on some of those techniques, or maybe even the asset people really love to use with their retirements, because it doesn't matter what the market does.
Well, that's correct. And that's really what you want to achieve. When you go to bed at night, you want to be able to go to sleep and not have to really be concerned about what's going to happen if the market moves one direction or another direction the next day. And that's probably the number one thing that we want to make sure our students understand, that this can be done in a way where you can still participate if the market's moving up. You can be protected if it goes down. In fact, you can participate beneficially if it goes down. Those are things that we teach our students. If you self-direct, the number one thing is that you eliminate the fees that can take maybe 40, 50, 60% away from what you could have in your retirement accounts. So by eliminating fees, that is a huge advantage right off the bat, but you have many more choices than you would in an employer-sponsored plan. Think about this. What are the choices you have? There are mutual funds, exchange-traded funds with some of you, but in a self-directed account, you have access to those if you want to invest in them, but you also can invest in the other assets, the leveraged assets. We call them leveraged assets because there's a multiple of every dollar you put into one of those investments. You can have a small amount of money that can control a large investment. That's the futures market, the foreign exchange market. And then the one I think Josh was looking or getting me to talk about there was the options market. Options are a great asset that you can use to benefit if the market's going up, if the market's going down, if the market is sideways. You can also use that as protection. I know a lot of you, when we're throwing out these terms, the futures, the Forex, the options market, you don't know anything about them, and you might be saying, that's too complicated. I can't figure that out. That's what we do. We take you by the hand and kind of walk you through how to use these assets.
It brings a lot more comfort to people, because this is something, or a profession, we should say, where we're told we shouldn't do. And we're told by the brokers, we're told by the advisors, we're told by Wall Street not to look at your investments. We're told not to worry about them. Why? Because they want to collect the fees and just hold your capital. Now, just so you guys understand, you can do this yourself. You have the opportunity to manage your accounts. You have the opportunity to make the decisions with your accounts, but you got to learn the right techniques and have the right tools. And Al talks about those in those investing classes. So Al, with these tools, now, do you have to be glued to your computer? I know we don't want to talk about time investment, but do you have to be glued to your computer? How do you make these decisions?
How uncomfortable if you were actually glued to your computer.
Well, have you tried it?
No, I have not, and I'm not going to. But yeah, the point is, especially when you retire, you want to get out and have some fun. You enjoy the time that you have, enjoy your kids, your grandkids, maybe your great-grandkids. And our goal is to show you how to do this in a way where we want to simplify things and make the time that you spend actually putting a trade or investment together very minimal. And you can do that with what we teach is kind of a combination of things. It's that core investment strategy where we're helping you identify the right price to pay to get into something, the right price to get out. But then you are protected. And by having a proper risk management, it means you're protecting your initial investment. So if you're wrong, any loss will be very minimal. So you're protecting your principal. If you're right, you're also protecting your profit. And you do that by setting a trade and then just let the computer, let the trading software, your broker software, do the work for you. You don't have to be there. In fact, you don't want to be there watching what's happening because your brain's going to get involved. You're going to start doing things emotionally that are not going to be in your best interest. So we'll show you how to do this where you can have a trade identified. Know you're protected if you're wrong. Know you're protected if you're right. You don't have to look at it. You don't have to watch it. And really, you have the confidence of knowing that you're doing something that has been shown on a consistent basis to put you in a situation where things are going to be beneficial to you.
Yeah, just to give an example on how those investment decisions happen, think of it as a DVR. You know, we have a DVR, which is basically something that can record TV shows on your computer. So you set your TV. So you set your TV up. Say, hey, I want to watch what's a show? We could just, whatever show it may be at 9 o'clock at night. But I don't want to be there to watch it. I want it to record for me, and then when I have time, I want to be able to watch it. Mm-hmm. That's the same concept with your investment decisions. You place your entry points and your exits. The computer will automatically do that for you, just like a DVR would record a TV show for you. So, and you kind of dive a little bit deeper into those techniques, Al, and concepts in these investing classes as far as how that's actually done. And may even show a potential example as well. Mm-hmm. But these classes are where we taught thousands, just like you, are many strategies, and these are designed to teach you to make better investing decisions. And these classes are free. They're here in Bloomington. They're only 2 hours. The best part about it is Al teaches these. So callers 1 through 10, you're going to receive 2 tickets. I'm also going to give away the retirement planner. When you call in right now, there's 3 retirement strategies that Wall Street doesn't talk about in there, but also strategies to profit from a stock sell-off. 952-814-4410. That's 952-814-4410. You can also text the word INVEST to the number 484848. You'll receive a text back right away and a link to register for the free class. Al, what's next on the home stretch?
Well, let's talk a little bit about why there's so many people that are just not taking that next step to control their own assets.
Why people aren't taking that next step, but how do you take that next step with confidence? Coming up next, 952-814-4410, or text the word INVEST to the number 484848. This is Josh and Al. We'll be right back.